Hello everyone, and welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
And so,
Horses.
you set off on your travels.
With our epic riding music.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
This is the best travel music.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good.
So,
Like, we're just
well.
used to it.
as you begin to ride up the trail back the way you came, back towards
Have a moment for me. Oh shit.
back towards the main road, you look back over your shoulder and you see the town of Renshire behind you. And despite the fact that it still looks as run down and desolate as it ever did, you now get the feeling when you look at it that it's a different town to the one you arrived at. Initially you came here with a sense of foreboding, not really knowing what you were going to find, and now you're leaving it feeling like you've had an impact. And as you ride, it takes you some time to get used to riding these horses. But you eventually get used to them. Just as the terrain sort of begins to change and it ceases to be valley and forest anymore and starts to become flat land again. And you start to notice that every now and again the occasional farmhouse will spring up, and there's signs of crops and growth occurring. And it is at this point that the horse that is leading, which I believe is Arya and V's horse, is brought to a halt by V.
What?
Because you have something that you want to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we'd stop by the farm.
Do people mind? Because it's gonna take a long time.
Not at all.
Oh, right.
It's fine.
I forgot about this part.
Do you mind
Arya
sitting
is-
here for like 8 hours?
She's gonna let you do it, but she's gonna be exasperated while you do it.
I'm sure there's other things we can talk about.
Okay, well, I'm gonna jump off a horse and I'm gonna be off by.
Okay.
Jeez.
V disappears off into the middle of farmland. You watch her walk for maybe half an hour just off into the middle of these fields.
God.
Jeez.
I'm not going to get off and sit somewhere more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I'm
It's not going to be
gonna-
comfortable sitting on a horse for 8 hours.
No.
I'm gonna start casting plant growth for 8
Okay.
hours.
Wow.
For-
Long time.
For onlookers, you see V off in the distance, standing out in the middle of a field, doing what appears to be some sort of half dance, half spellcasting motion. And this goes on for quite some time. To the point where you guys decide to have some lunch.
Yep.
Sort of. It's the beginnings of quite a nice summer's day. So whilst the sun isn't particularly hot, it's certainly warm enough to enjoy sitting out in it. And yeah, you basically make the most of the sunshine. You don't talk a particular amount. It's mostly just sort of a case of enjoying one another's company.
Wait, we do that in this party?
Some of you do.
Yes. Well, we've also got an insight into Arya right now, our character.
Yeah.
Doesn't enjoy any of our company.
I do enjoy some of your company, it's just not all of your company.
And just not all of the time. But
When
yes,
we're not busy being grim or lawful stupid.
as the afternoon leads on, V seems to finish whatever it is that she is doing, and begins to come back. And after a little while, she returns. None of you really have a clue of what she actually just did.
Maybe.
She's just gonna be like, okay, I'm done. Let's keep going.
Okay.
She just danced in a field for 8 hours.
You
Arya,
know.
help me up on this horse.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Back on the horses.
Yeah, that's a thing. Do you know how to properly mount a horse without ending up backwards on it?
Excuse me. That's it.
V is at least tall enough to
It's a
mount the
bit
horse.
tall for a horse. You know, my horse is not easy. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. At least
You
V is
know.
tall enough. to
My,
mount
you're a
the
tall horse.
My horse is 16 hands tall. Thanks. It's actually
Yeah,
really
well,
big
Kelariis'
horse.
warhorse is probably more like 20 or 21, so, you know.
Actually, that 16 is pretty big for a horse. So.
Yeah,
Let me
Anyway.
but
get on this horse.
warhorses were more like 20 to 21 hands.
Yes, you mount the horse, regardless of how tall it is. And you decide to carry onwards.
Back to work.
Okay. As you travel, you encounter a few travelling parties of humans. Most of them seem to be caravans headed up the trade routes to the north. None of them particularly seem to pay you any attention unless you attempt to speak to any of them.
I don't see any reason to do so.
No, you are headed in opposite directions. Nobody stops and attempts to engage with you. You continue on your way for another few hours until the sun begins to set. And you decide that it is time to make camp.
With our new tents.
Oh
Your
yeah.
new tent.
That
We
don't
you're,
get
that you're
tents,
not
though.
going to use.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
we don't have tents. We just
No,
have...
but it still takes some more time to set up.
But you know what we
True.
do have?
What?
More friends.
Well, actually, it's less time to set up because previously you built small sleeping shelters out of things like sticks and.
Did we?
Well, yeah,
Did we?
yeah, when you needed to.
I guess it just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Not fair.
I'd imagine that'd be quite easy with V around. I'd imagine V is an expert at finding stuff we could use
I know
for that.
all the best sticks.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone knows sticks,
I am an expert on sticks.
a stick expert.
Yeah. Arya has contemplated at times setting up a stick fetching contest between V and Lyra.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Who would win?
There's the I've just thrown this stick contest and the find me the biggest stick contest.
I feel like V would win only because Lyra would be like, this is stupid.
I don't think Lyra would appreciate it if you expected her to play fetch.
Yeah.
So, you set up your camp, and night begins to fall. So, as night falls, you notice something that you had not previously noticed on your travels. And that is that the town ahead of you that you are heading towards, resting on the peak of a hill, as the sun sets off to one side and it becomes dark, you notice that basically there is a large illumination in the center of town. And despite the fact that you guys, by the time you finished setting up camp, it's fairly late. It's 8 or 9 o'clock at night when most people would be considering turning in and going to bed. You see that this great illumination is still going on, from what you can tell, in the middle of town. And just as you are about to go to sleep, you hear what sounds like a series of explosions. And I would like you to... I'd like you to make me some intelligence checks, and Grim, you may have advantages.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Damn, V.
Nice,
one,
V.
Okay,
Oh,
Damn!
shit.
nice.
Who needs
Everybody
advantage in this
needs
day and
advantage.
age?
Good.
Look at all those
Arya and Kelariis' first response to hearing these explosions is to draw weapons and prepare themselves.
Yep.
Yup.
The rest of you sort of look around, somewhat confused for a moment. Before Vondal, you're aware that these explosions are still quite loud, but they are quite a ways off in the distance. V and Grim, you turn your eyes upwards.
They're fireworks.
They appear to be coloured lights bursting in the
Oh.
sky and making peculiar patterns.
They are fireworks.
Oh shit! I called it.
V, you have never seen anything like this before, but you are immediately enamoured by its beauty and And
We
chilled out by
started
it.
firework noises.
Grim, you recognise them as a gnomish invention.
Yes.
Firecrackers.
Yeah, gnomes invent everything.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. A combination of alchemy, black powder, and fire.
I come all in favour of standing here and saying, ooh, ah.
Yes. You get the feeling that some great event is occurring in Rourke's Gate, although what that is, you don't quite know.
There's pretty lights. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
V's like, oh my god, best place ever!
I'm so
Well-
glad we chose to go there.
I don't know why there's lights, but there's lights.
You watch them for a while, and with your hands, you begin to sort of weave the components of magic that you do for dancing lights, and you imitate them with your dancing lights by
Aw.
launching them into the air and then making them disappear.
Nice.
Nice.
Sweet. Homemade fireworks without.
Oh, yeah.
They
without them being
They don't go very high, and they don't make a big bang, and she can't make them different colours, but the attempt is there.
Wait, no. Hang. As she does so, can Vondal just whistle?
Okay.
So like as they
Oh,
go
yeah.
up, he whistles.
He's trying to make it sound like a.
Yeah.
And
Like the
just
ones that just go straight up and whistle and just disappear.
Cool. You have this minor bonding moment over the distant fireworks.
Lovely.
By the way, should we ever talk about Grim's hair?
No, we're never gonna talk about
Yeah,
it.
no, we're not down in the bad place.
I mean, I think we've figured out why he starts turning blonde now. It's that fucking horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know quite what the horn is doing.
Oh, we know it's doing something.
It doesn't seem bad.
Mm,
It makes him weirdly
hard to
attractive
tell.
when he dodges things. So
But he's cute.
he's not like killing anyone.
Wait, am I not always cute?
No, but like cuter.
No.
Eyes
Arya
straight in there.
just says
No.
Uh,
Arya will never admit to that one moment when she was like, oh, he's kind of attractive, because she felt like the dirtiest person in the world afterwards.
Oh.
But yeah, whilst
Hmm.
I would have avoided calling you cute purely for the risk of it being a derogatory term given your size.
yeah. To be honest, I would prefer avoiding the term, but
He just wants to be called dashingly handsome.
I believe so.
Well, I
that's
don't know.
okay.
You just remind me a little bit of just more fey creatures. I like it.
hey, well, I guess.
Arya's like, that's not good.
What's the worst
Yeah.
that could happen?
I think as
Well,
long as he doesn't start acting like one, we should be okay.
Technically,
Hey!
genetically, he is one,
I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
That's a good point.
because his people are descended from sprites.
Yeah. And also, I'm saying that due to the satyr we met that one time. I don't want him to start acting like that satyr.
Oh right. I was like, what satyr? And then I remember.
Yeah, that
the
one
one I
that
won
tried
the
to,
pan.
that one to try to charm me to cheat
Yeah.
at the music
Yeah.
contest.
Yeah.
That one.
I remember that, and I beat him in that pan-doing contest like a boss.
Yeah.
I would never cheat, says Grim, fluttering his eyelashes.
Of course he fucking would.
Of course.
The only thing that matters is winning.
Wow. No honor.
Well, I guess it depends on what it would be. Yeah. Well, I guess there's worse prices to pay for using an
I'm just turning
Fine.
blonde and handsome. There are worse prices to pay.
And if it does go badly, we know how to stop it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope-
that's true.
I
Yeah,
hope it
maybe
works
do we
again.
all know about that? Mm,
Well, you know Vondal has the ability to remove curses, and it seemed to work on the horn that one time.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Affinity breaking.
should be fine.
Yeah, it'll probably be fine.
Like as long as I don't drastically change in personality.
Roll me Arcana checks. Those of you who are telling me this is going to be all right.
I feel like this is not.
Arcana checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh shoot!
Oh, why are we getting so many natural 20s? Why have I got the only natural?
Okay.
We're rolling in it.
It's a shame it's not a history check because Grim would have advantage.
Rip.
No,
I mean,
actually, I
Kelariis has
wouldn't.
already got
I
natural
just
20.
get-
Yeah,
because
Kelariis,
that's
you're feeling you're feeling when people are sort of like, I'm sure it'll be fine. You're just like, having experienced the side effects from certain magical items, you're just like, whilst the side effects may not seem bad now, they may have inopportune effects that may come up at the wrong time that could make things potentially hazardous.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Well,
Well-
Grim, if things ever start getting weird, it might be best to not use the horn anymore.
Wait, well, if they get well, I guess does this count as weird? It's not too weird.
You know what I mean.
It's kind of weird.
It's a little weird.
Does this
but
count as weird, Grim poses?
Well, I mean, radical changes in hair color and length tend to be a bit weird.
It's not. Its
Eh,
length is not
it's-
that radical. It's just like a few centimeters, I think.
Actually, no, it's more like a couple of inches now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it keeps growing. It's
Kinda
growing
radical.
faster than normal.
Yeah, it's
Very radical.
like when he's not got it tied up, it is starting to
his
get.
hair. I thought his body length.
Oh no, yeah, no. Height wise, he has increased by a couple of centimeters. Yes. No, hair wise, it's starting to get into shoulders below shoulders territory.
He's turning into a surfer dude.
Soon he will have a beard to rival mine.
Yeah.
As long as he does. As long as he actually does.
His beard is not getting any longer.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
weird.
Okay.
I mean, well, if he's turning into an elf, I don't think
Or like a
elves
fake.
have facial hair.
Yeah, they don't
So,
usually.
Yeah.
What if his
That's fine,
beard
that
starts to
makes
fall out?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
Oh no.
I think
See,
that'd
would
be the
an
weird
issue.
territory. Would removing the curse then grow his beard back?
No,
question.
he'd be beardless.
He
He
might
does
be
it- he
beardless.
does it grow back
True
normal.
that.
It's like his beard falls out, and then like he's just like, I'm gonna have to shave the rest of this off. Shaves it off, turns around, and he's just like the most adorable baby-faced little gnome you've ever seen.
Oh,
This is why I had a beard, guys.
We'll put a red cap on him, we will laminate him, and put him in the front garden.
Oh no.
That's racist.
wow.
Oh no.
That was
I say
bad.
funny things every now and then, guys.
I mean, it's a very, very ill-informed remark to the days of yore, back when sprites used to be petrified by fake lords who disliked them and would keep them as garden ornaments.
Oh jeez.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh, I didn't realize that was an actual thing. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh. I
you
take that
learn
back.
something every day.
I take that back if that's what the case. Jeez.
This is the origins of garden gnomes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm never having a garden.
Garden gnome is incredibly insensitive.
Yep. I'll never have a garden gnome. I probably won't have a garden as a dwarf, but you know. If I ever do have
You'll have a rockery, except unlike most rockeries, it'll just be full of rocks.
one. Yeah. A rockery full of rocks. Who would have thought?
Well, let's just go to bed and
Good plan.
Yeah, eventually the fireworks subside and you guys can get some rest. Some people need to make me some checks.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Shit.
Who's
I'm
taking
scaring
over this
it.
time?
I'll hold
Uh,
it tonight.
Okay,
I'll
I'll do
support.
secondary. Oh, okay.
Alright.
It doesn't matter.
Iron Kelariis, go.
Okay.
I have advantage, so
Oh, good. Doing it.
Okay, well.
Oh, okay.
Brimstone.
or at least I think it. Well, it counts as magical. I think so. I hope.
Well, if you're doing secondary, you have
Oh shit,
advantage
do we all
anyway.
have +2 against this now?
No, you're not. It has to be within 10 feet of me. So.
Yeah, only if you're
I
within
see.
10 feet of
No
Kelariis.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, if you guys are sleeping in your tents,
That's true.
Oh,
Vondal would
Oh.
also be close enough.
that's a good
Well,
point.
we're gonna have the shard tent.
The shard tent.
The shard
Oh
shack.
god, that sounds like the worst tent in the world.
It's like the quarantine tent. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Kelariis could just do it on her own.
I'm just not sure Arya could handle all of the jokes about Grim and Kelariis sharing a tent.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Come on, 22, get the shard
Why?
tent.
Why?
Get in the shard tent, you two.
This
Wait,
shard
how-
tent is gonna become a euphemism.
Yes, it is.
Oh no.
Get
Wait,
in
so how
the
does this
shard
work now?
tent.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess.
Well,
They're sharing a tent.
I guess
and-
Jayla could just like set way the fuck away from us.
Yeah, I think Kelariis could just do it on her own.
Yeah.
Goodbye, guys.
Yeah.
Just set up
Shout
where I can
something
see
wrong.
you.
Okay, so, regardless,
Yeah.
you go to sleep, nothing happens.
Cool.
Yay.
Yay.
You wake up the next morning. Mount up your horses and proceed onwards.
Yeehaw!
We're not cowboys. We don't have any cows.
Could be.
We can't. We don't have any
Um,
cows.
Cowboys don't need cows.
Yes, they do.
they're
It's their
boys.
job.
Then they're just boys.
Literally their job. It's herding cows.
We're gonna go crack over the cold one.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Make sure we tell me bankers don't need money.
Cool.
Memes.
Wow.
It's okay, guys. Priests don't need a church.
Well, priests
So-
don't actually need a church. That's not a requirement.
Whatever.
There are traveling priests.
Okay, fair.
It takes you a handful of hours to make it to Rourke's Gate. Unlike Renshire, the walls of this city are still, well, this town, are very much intact.
They're actually
And
walls.
as you ride up to the gate, you find the gates wide open, with nobody on guard.
Oh,
Let's just walk in.
Um,
disconcerting.
As you ride in to basically the town square, you are greeted with the following sight.
Ah!
what a nice town.
Oh
square.
shit, mountains!
There it's more hills in this one. It's the artwork is not 100% representative.
Disclaimer.
But yes,
Is this Hyrule?
much like the town square you see in front of you, it is almost entirely devoid of people.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
In fact, you only see, I believe it is 3 people. Give me just a second.
Is this a market square?
It is.
And it's like the middle of the day.
It is the middle of the day, yes.
What?
That is really fucking weird. I don't like this.
Mm,
I really don't like this.
People are just somewhere else.
This is supposed to be the busiest part of the day.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Unless everybody in town has decided to have lunch at the exact same moment. Which I doubt.
Okay. Yeah, you can basically see three market stands that are set up in the market stall, which seem to be crewed by a number of individuals. You see, basically, there is a stall that is laid out with some simple-looking weapons and shields. There is a small covered area set up, which seems to be manned by a portly, well-dressed halfling who is basically standing around dusting down a peculiar-looking chair surrounded by a scaffold. And there is one gentleman who appears to be setting up a mobile cart, which basically it has a large board on the side that is painted with the word Pieman.
Shooting, there's some pies for sale.
What are pies?
You make some pastry and you fill it with stuff, and then you put another layer of pastry on the top.
Okay. It's like weird.
Okay.
It's like weird bread.
Kind of. Kind of, except you put stuff in it and then you cook it.
Pie. It's like weird bread.
That's your quote of the day. That's the episode title right there. Pie is weird bread.
Okay. So.
Well, I guess we talked to these people.
Yeah.
Since these are the only people we've seen, which is kind of suspicious.
Yeah, it's a little worrying.
Either there's some big event in town that everyone's going to instead, or everybody's gone to have lunch at the exact same moment, or something is seriously wrong.
Well, let's see if we can find out.
Yeah.
So, which of the three stands do you approach?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I don't have an answer to that.
Who's closest?
That would be the weapons merchant.
Well, he's closest. We might as well ask him first.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Give me a perception check as you approach.
Everyone or just Vondal?
Everybody who's going up to the stand.
No, I guess
Well, I don't see it.
going
I don't either.
on.
The 6 buddies.
Okay.
13, 14, 15!
Yay!
Okay.
Oh,
So,
we got 11 in.
as you approach the stand, you see this gentleman sort of he looks up, sees you, and waves and beckons you over. V and Grim, as you're sort of standing at the back as everybody else approaches, and you notice a shift of movement off to one side, and basically what you had taken to basically be a mound of things that this man is still setting up from his cart appears to move. And basically you see a hulking 7-foot-tall half-orc basically move like a mountain of like clubs and shields and place them next to the stand. And basically as you guys approach the stand, you turn to your left and suddenly there's this 7-foot-tall orc standing right next to you that's sort of like, oh, hello, hi.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and the gentleman at the stall says, welcome, welcome. The name's Nordstrom Ratchet. Most people call me Two Bob. What can I do for you?
That is a very odd nickname.
I guess we've just arrived in town and we were wondering, what's going on? Was there so few people being around?
He looks at you. He looks over you and says, "Ah, yes, out of towners, I can tell. There's not much calling for the following of Palor where you come from, then."
Well, no, not really.
No, I didn't think so. It's the Ascension ceremony, my friends. Most of the villagers are indoors in the church, in a service till the late afternoon, I'm afraid. It's just me and my friends out here.
Okay.
What's the Ascension?
He turns to you and says, "Oh, hello, young miss.
Hello.
The Ascension ceremony is basically new priests of the Pylorian Order are inducted, and it's basically a big party that we had last night. And then they go and sit in church for several hours for some unknown reason, because they seem to enjoy it. I guess it's some sort of religious devotion thing. Never been terribly into religion myself. I prefer to deal in coin and weapons and take my luck where I can get it."
Well, that's actually. Could you point us towards the church?
He points to the large spired building that you can see at the opposite end of the square in this picture with the banners.
Also, maybe an inn.
Also that.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame none of us are tied to Palor here.
No, well, we. Well, I've already forgotten. Like the priest, we were
Jan.
helping.
Yeah.
Wait, was
It was Palor,
Palor,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That was why I asked for the church.
Well, it means it'd be pretty easy to get this letter to
Oh,
someone.
yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says, "Yes, the church is over there, though I'd recommend waiting until the service is over. Not terribly polite to barge in on them, I would expect."
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably.
Yeah, of course.
Is that the only church in this town?
He looks at you rather perplexed and says, "Yes, as far as I'm aware."
I see. Okay.
Do we want to? Okay, out of character. Do we want to look around on our own, or ask about good places?
I mean,
So I was gonna say we
nobody's
could look around on our
sure.
own to kill time till the service ends.
What
But
are
we should
doing
probably
here?
find an inn.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Wander around the town, look for the shops and the inns.
Yeah. Well, I guess we might as well get a suggestion as to where to go. Is there any good inns you could recommend? I asked, well, the merchant.
He says, "Yes, there's a couple of inns. For travellers like yourselves, I might recommend North Street, back down the way you've just come.
Okay. Thanks.
Don't suppose I can interest you in anything off my stall? Please don't handle the merchandise, it makes Mr. Brick rather upset."
I don't think we need anything.
Yeah, well, I guess. Have any darts?
Oh, you want war darts?
Yeah, well,
Are
just
war darts a
think
simple
too.
weapon? That is a question.
I believe so.
In
Well,
that,
actually, give me 1 second. I'm very close to the page.
Uh,
It's simple raged.
yes, then he does.
Okay. Well, I'll buy them. They're 5 copper each, I believe.
Yes.
Or at least if he uses the.
Yeah, he's trading basically at the sort of price that you're used to.
Right.
He says, when he sort of hands over the things, he says, "Nifty little things these. I don't suppose you'd be interested in anything a little more specialist. I happen to have a couple of things off to one side for discerning customers."
Well, what kind of things would that be?
He reaches under his stall and produces a box. And and basically he opens up the box, and it's quite a large box, and it's fairly compartmentalized, and it doesn't actually seem to have an awful lot of stuff in it, for basically how big the box is. But one of the things he pulls out appears to be basically like the handle you would expect for a dagger or a knife, and he says, "This one might be particularly useful to an adventuring sort such as yourself." He says, "Examine that. What do you think that is?"
Well, can I examine it?
Yes. Give me an intelligence check. Okay. It basically it looks like the handle for basically a knife.
Okay. Well, it's handle. It's that's all. Well, I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. He takes it back off you and says, "Very difficult to kill a man with it, wouldn't it?"
Well, I'm sure I could come up with a way.
He laughs and says, "Ha ha! I like a man who thinks like that."
Is this like a fucking switchblade?
Jam it down his throat.
He proceeds to basically flip the handle up, squeeze the base of the handle, and a possibly about 2 or 3 inch blade emerges very quickly from the end of the handle. It says, "What do you think now?"
Yeah, it's clever.
Yes.
Also illegal.
In your world, yes. Not
our world.
in your world. It's legal to carry a sword.
I'm sorry, but we're in a party who are literally carrying swords, hammers, shields, and wearing full armor. I'm pretty sure a switchblade is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a stick.
The stick is
Yeah.
Very
important.
important.
The stick is the most dangerous one of the lot, to be honest. 'Cause
Yeah.
It weighs more than my fucking hammer. It's gotta be dangerous.
But yeah, he twists the bottom of the handle, and the blade retracts as he twists. And he puts it on the top of the box so that you can see it. And he basically says, "This, my friends, is a spring blade. Very good if you need to get weapons in where they wouldn't otherwise be allowed, if you catch my meaning."
Well,
Pitch fighting rings.
actually, if
Oh my god, can you
No,
imagine?
no honor here.
What did you say, sorry?
I said like pit fighting rings.
Mm.
Mm.
But yeah, for in gameplay mechanics terms, he's offering you a spring blade, which is basically it is a regular dagger, but if you attempt to conceal it with a sleight of hand check, you gain basically a +2 bonus to your conceal attempt.
Well, I guess we might as well invest in it, like, because we do get into some rather weird situation.
Completely by choice, mind you, but you know.
Not always.
Look,
You
there
you
could be others.
willingly went down there and decided to beat each other up, so you know.
He sees
Like-
he sees you eyeing this thing and sort of says, "If that doesn't quite catch your fancy, I've got some pots of alchemist's fire if anyone's interested in that, or even a set of tools that might be useful for somebody who was attempting to get into places that they weren't quite supposed to."
Don't you already have a
I
lockpicking
am
kit?
very suspicious of this
We
man.
do not
now.
have a lockpicking kit.
You don't have lockpicking kit. You don't have anybody who's
Oh.
proficient in it.
I'm
Ah.
very suspicious of this man.
Actually,
too.
I would
with
be
his
interested.
obsession and being places he shouldn't be.
Look, I think we should get the switchblade or the spring knife,
Spring blade.
spring blade.
Spring knife.
Well, if you want it.
Look, it's light, and well, actually, I guess the the deciding factor is going to be how much would you want for such a nifty device.
He looks it over and says, I wouldn't normally let anything like this go for less than maybe 10 gold, but for someone as discerning as yourself, I might be prepared to let it go for, say, 8.
What would you say if you throw an alchemist fire in there?
He sort of looks back and says, alchemist fire is a little more pricey, I'm afraid. It's very difficult to get hold of.
I meant as in, like, if you make that into a package. I'm
Oh,
aware that it's not
okay.
like...
Yeah, he says, well, alchemist fire, it's difficult to get hold of, but I could probably let go of it for maybe 50 gold. So
50 gold!
between the two of them, I could...
Alchemist's fire.
That's as much as a horse!
No, it's not.
The horse was
25 gold
75.
cheaper than a horse.
Yeah.
It's almost as much as a horse!
It's 50% cheaper than a horse.
Yeah.
Um,
But alchemist fire costs nearly 50 gold anyway, so
Yeah.
he's willing to give it to you for like 10 less, well, 8 less gold, yeah.
so it would be a decent deal. Well, basically we get the knife for free.
Basically.
Because I was actually more interested in the alchemist fire. Let me see. I can't remember what it does.
What,
Exactly.
alchemist fire?
Yeah, I just want to.
Can it like not be put
Isn't it
out
like a
for,
Molotov cocktail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw it at someone and it sets them.
Oh, and they keep on burning as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically a Molotov cocktail that can't be put out by water.
Okay, I will. I'll take that deal. Do you guys want anything else?
Not for me.
No.
No.
He says, excellent, a pleasure to do business with you. Please, if you would hand the money to Mr. Brick, I make a policy of never handling money myself.
Sure.
This guy is so weird.
It's so shady.
I know, he's a little shady.
I will
Yeah.
hand.
The 7-foot tall orc walks up to you, bends down slightly, and extends a hand that can only be described as meaty.
Well,
Do I hand over the gold?
He takes the coins, counts them very slowly, picks up the alchemist fire and the spring blade and hands them to you. Doesn't say anything.
Fair enough.
Oh, thank you.
He says, well, if you're ever in the market for anything else, or any of your friends ever need anything, tell them 2Bob sent you.
I'll keep it in mind. Perhaps if I need anything special, I can try ask.
A pleasure, pleasure. If you have anything you might need to get your hands on, I see what I can do.
Nice.
I don't like that thing he said either.
No.
What thing?
If you need anything, I'll see if I can get my hands on it. I'd like to question how he gets his hands on it, to be quite honest. But I'm not going to, because that'd be stupid.
Maybe he buys it from other people.
I think that's,
Yeah,
I think that's
that's
wishful thinking.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Money can be exchanged for goods and
Oh my
services.
god, no,
he's really proud that she's learned this.
no, forget it. This is the episode title. Fucking hell, we're quoting it incessantly.
Look, she rolled a 20 on that intelligence check, so.
Yeah.
To be fair, she probably knows more than that sentence, but look.
She derived
Should we,
a lot from our conversation.
Yeah. Should we check out that inn he mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, remind me again. What were we actually doing here? Because it was
I
to
have
do with
no
the price of
idea.
Ariel.
Maybe you should have this conversation in character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do
while
that.
we walk.
Kelariis, what were we doing here again? I know it was for you, but I don't remember what.
Well, basically, when we were in Argentella and in the capital in the library, I found a book that mentioned Rourke's Gate as a place where there might still be an intact temple to Tritherion, but the fact that the I already forget it. Two Bob, is that his name?
To Bob, yes.
Two Bob. Said this was that the Paylor's church is the only church in town. Is a bit
Oh,
interesting.
you could always ask an innkeeper.
Give me a religion check.
Okay.
You can have advantage for it as well, because
Okay.
this is something that you would probably know.
Yes, like, well, the previous, place of worship wasn't exactly public either.
Yeah, you remember from your readings that this there was said to be a church or temple to Tritherion because of basically the legend of Namud, which was the beggar in Rourke's Gate that gave half of his money to the church, even though the church didn't do anything for him. Tritherion thought he was a worthy man to be part of his church. So he basically set up a church there. But you know that in many human civilizations that like previously you had to avoid mentioning Tritherion because people were unsettled by him, because the general consensus is that Tritherion is a troublemaker because he interferes with proper law and administration and things like that.
Right.
Because he believes that laws shouldn't shackle people, and generally most civilizations try to live under those laws. So whilst people don't know about it is kind of disheartening, you're not prepared to sort of give up just yet, because there is every chance that it's not common knowledge that this place exists.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
And also,
I figured
innkeepers tend to know a lot more about the area generally. And if there's several inns, well, that's more chances that someone who knows a lot about the area will happen to know anything about this.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's not like the previous location wasn't exactly out in the open.
True. But it was. Well, we're also not in the middle of the forest. It's a bit.
That is also
Also, although I suppose that depending on when that book was written, it might not be up to date, so to speak.
I have no idea.
The book was quite old. It was a book of myth and mythology.
Yeah, that's true.
well, the thing we're looking for is probably quite dated itself.
We're good at finding things.
We are.
Somehow.
We'll ask around. I'm sure we'll find something.
Okay, so you travel back down the road that Tubob described as North Street, which is the road you just walked in from. And yeah, you do find a tavern, or it's an inn more than a tavern, but it does have a large tavern space in the front that you can sort of. There's a large long window along one side that you can see inside, and you quite clearly see that it is a tavern on the bottom floor. And then you go sort of round into a side street, and there is a door. And as you enter, you are greeted with the following sight.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's quite nice.
Oh,
Yes. It's not quite as dimly lit as in this picture. This is an evening picture. So it's actually quite bright because the light is shining in through the window, the large front window. But yeah, you basically enter into a tavern space, and off to one side you can see that there is a staircase leading up to a floor above, with a sign basically above the archway that says rooms, and then a sign that points upwards. As far as you can tell, basically the tavern still seems to be in a case of people are still tidying up in this tavern. And it's quite clearly in the process of being cleaned, but nobody is currently on the tavern floor.
So there's no one in here. It's just clearly someone's trying to clean it, and they're not here.
Yeah, they might have popped out for a moment. They might be upstairs. You don't know.
Well, they
Let's
might-
try calling out. Just be like, "Hello, is anybody in?"
No response.
They
They might
might
be at
also
that
be
thing.
at the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
God, what do we do with our time now?
Well, we can look around town for other inns, any other shops, so we at least
Well-
know where things are.
Wait, what were the other two market stalls?
Pies.
There was a
Oh, yeah.
a mobile cart that said Pieman on the side, and there was a portly, well-dressed halfling standing next to a peculiar-looking chair with a scaffold around it.
Well, that sounds interesting at least.
Well, that's the thing. We know what those are, what the stalls are. We might as well have a look at the places we haven't been and see if we can work out where's what. Because knowing where's what in a new place is probably a good idea.
Yeah, I guess now that it's calm, it's also easier to walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Cool. So you sort of have a wander around Rourke's Gate whilst it's not quite so busy.
I think V wants to try this pie.
Just thought it was weird bread.
Should we get her a sweet pie, like a fruit
I
pie?
think we need to make her understand that it's not just weird bread.
Yeah.
That's weird, bread.
I feel like V would most enjoy a sweet pie, something with fruit in
I
it.
agree.
Probably.
Does that sound good, V?
Do they have quiches?
Quiches.
I don't think they have. I
Maybe
don't know if
Is
that's
that technically a pie? I guess it is.
I mean, it's pastry.
I mean, technically it's quiche.
Yeah. It is pastry technically.
Take you out for a meal with
But
Mr. and
it's-
Mrs. Payne. Order up some violent
It is
quiche.
slightly different from what I've.
Yeah, it is different because they don't put a top
I mean,
on it.
yeah, I've had quiche and I've had pie of all
Look,
varieties. So
Look,
As you walk back to the town square, you debate whether quiche is or isn't pie.
We conclude it's not. Should we buy V a sweet pie?
yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I guess we might as well all have a pie.
Pieman!
everyone
Yeah,
gets pie.
as
Yeah, the fruit pie. Just get one big fruit pie for all of us.
as you get back to the town square, the man with the mobile cart has obviously finished doing his setup, and you can now see that the sign that says Pieman folds up into a like a serving surface, and the man has quite clearly distributed a number of pies along this serving surface and is stood inside the kitchen area of this mobile stall.
Let us go.
You approach, and the gentleman at the time, who seems to be very carefully applying the lid to a fresh pie that he is preparing, turns and basically greets you as you arrive, and he says, "Hello, hello, hello. So, travellers from outside, I see. You here for the Ascension ceremony?"
Like
No,
we're
yeah.
here for pie.
Not wrong.
He looks at Grim and he says, "You, I like you, friend."
everyone
Grim
likes
make-
Grim.
All the
think Grim-
merchants like Grim.
Because he's sassy.
Merchants
Yeah.
like sassy people.
He says, "Well, that's certainly something I can help you with. Earn Moss's the name, pie making's the game."
Ugh, I expected his name to be Simon.
He was a pieman. He loved to bake pies.
Yep.
No, his name is Earn Moss.
Okay.
Are we sure he's not called Simon? 'Cause
He is
then should
definitely
use
not
pie
called Simon.
sense. But then he should use pie sense to figure out what V's favourite pie would be.
You can still do that.
Does he have pie sense? I don't think he does. Let's not discuss this. Let's not spend 5 minutes talking to a pieman.
Cav, shut up.
I can't do that now.
Get a fucking pie.
So,
What kind of pie should we get?
That was a good question.
I
got
guess
lots of
we'll-
pies. Meat pies, chicken pies, fruit pies.
Oh yeah, what fruit pies are available?
He,
Can we not just have a fruit pie?
yeah, he's got like basically all sorts. He's got apple, mixed berries,
Does he have cherry?
No.
Oh, blasphemy.
I mean, mixed berry is normally pretty good.
It's true.
I mean, apple pie though.
It's not really the climate for cherries around here.
I was gonna say, I feel like we should all ask what pie she wants.
The
Apple pie's quite nice.
There you go. We'll have an apple pie.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He produces from a hatch below the serving table a still piping warm pie.
Ah,
Oh, lovely.
It's too bad we don't have
that
any
was
ice
not
cream.
How much is this pie?
Ern Moss retails pies for 3 copper.
Oh, that's
I
a
will
bargain.
pay for this pie.
I mean, pies generally in the universe of D&D are like poor people food.
Yeah.
It's like going out for fast food.
I wish fast food was pie.
Me too, man. Me too.
I mean, in medieval England, it used to be.
I mean, technically, I don't know if. I mean, do McDonald's still do those like boiling
Oh,
jacket apple
yeah.
pies? Sorry.
I think they do though. But anyway,
Moving on.
So, does anybody else order any pie?
I guess
we're
I'm
ordering
gonna
a big pie for all of us.
Oh, are you? Okay.
We're gonna share.
Yeah.
the big
Right,
apple
okay.
Wait.
Yeah,
pie.
no.
Share an apple pie.
No, fair enough. Okay, cool.
5 slices.
God, Ferrous, we can share here.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I didn't know whether you wanted more pies.
We're gonna.
Look,
cut
we're
some
gonna get one of
slices.
each. We need to try all of them.
Oh god.
We don't need to try every type of pie he does.
Why not?
I mean,
Because that would take all day.
there would be quite a lot of pie. There are at least
Yeah.
9 different types of pie on the stand alone. So,
And we've already
Yeah.
earned breakfast.
yeah.
Yes, yes we
Lunch.
have.
Yeah.
This is true.
Now
This
let's
is-
go take our
Wait, no,
apple
no, this is-
pie and
oh
eat
my
it
God.
and
Okay.
wander around. Because we need to do
Pie
something
for lunch.
productive.
So yeah,
Let's do something productive. Come on.
as you leave, Ern sort of cheerily sort of waves you off, and he says, "Oh, if you do go by the church, pay old Velt no mind. He might be old and grumpy, but he means well."
Okay.
Alright, we'll bear that in
Thanks for
mind.
the heads up.
So you walk away from the pie stand.
How's the pie?
It's pretty good.
Nice.
Like you've never had pie before, but you're not disappointed.
It's not
Nasty
really
food.
like bread.
No,
No, it's not.
it's
It's not like
disappointingly
weird bread.
not like weird bread. But
Ah, but it's better than weird bread.
it is somehow better than weird bread.
Now let's see if we can locate the important places in this town.
Okay.
Are we not gonna talk to the halfling with the weird chair?
Oh yeah, we should
Do
go
you,
talk to
do you
that
want to
person.
talk to the halfling with the weird chair?
Well-
Why do we want to talk to the halfling with the weird chair?
Give me a perception check as you are walking away from this pie stand.
Ah, I see nothing.
Okay.
I'm too busy with this pie. This is the best thing I've ever eaten.
The best food.
Okay.
V wants nothing but pies.
V and Kelariis are too busy eating pie. The rest of you notice that the halfling man, now that you're on the other side of his little canopied area, you can see that he's got a sign. And the sign, in 4 different languages, reads Botham's Clean Cuts.
Oh, he's what?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
The 4 languages are Common, Orcish, Elvish, and Gnomish, by the way.
I can only read one of those.
I can
Yeah.
read 3 of those.
wow.
We should get Grim there.
Oh yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Get that shit off there.
Yeah.
Wow,
Fine.
Luke.
Wow.
Look, that hair is not natural.
Actually, it would be interesting to see if it grows back.
You remember Buzzcut?
Oh god.
That
I
always
think
looks
we don't
really
need a buzz
scary.
cut in order to
Let's
tell
not be
him.
distracted by a barber.
Well,
I mean, whilst the rest of you walk around, he could have a haircut.
Good.
Like, I
what
could have
one?
some grim time.
Grim time.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Sure, I'll go see what
Okay.
the barber has to offer.
Okay, so you walk up to this this halfling stand, and he smiles and greets you and says, hello, welcome to Botham's Clean Cuts.
Hello. I guess I would like to try a haircut.
He says, "Oh yes, please come on up," and he produces from basically behind the scaffold a set of collapsible stairs, which allows you to stand up into the chair or get up into the chair without having to climb.
That's amazing. I can't believe they have gnome facilities.
Well, he's
They
a half.
accommodate-
Yeah.
They accommodate for your height.
That is true.
Yeah.
He sympathizes with you because he is also small.
Yes. Yeah, he puts down this set of collapsible stairs, lets you get into the chair, takes up the stairs, puts them next to the scaffold, climbs up himself. Excuse me. And he sort of gets a brush out and sort of runs it through your hair and muses to himself. And sort of takes some brief sort of hair length measurements with his comb. And he says, you I can do for 4 silver.
That's 6. Well, I guess I can do 4 silver. It's steep for a haircut, but
not a professional haircut. It isn't.
okay. Well, I'll take it anyway.
Like you're basically paying like the price of a meal, the price of a decent meal to get your haircut.
I guess.
Yeah. He also examines your beard and he also says, I can do you a clean shave for another silver.
Maybe not a clean shave, but could you trim it a bit?
He looks at it, looks at his tools, and says, "Yes, I think I can do that. Still cost you a silver, though."
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
He busily begins to get to work.
Nice.
Wonderful weather we're having.
I hate hairdressers like this.
Did you come for the celebrations last night?
I wasn't actually here last night.
Oh, shame, Mr. Good Party.
Oh.
It's just
I've-
a bu-
I actually have no idea what you're celebrating. Well, I guess I kind of know now.
The Ascension ceremony.
But like, what? Like, is it like an old? I guess it's like an old ritual.
Yeah. He basically explains the Ascension ceremony to you, and basically what it is basically clergy of Palor go to what is essentially clergy school for essentially 4 years, and once they have finished clergy school, they are inducted into the church proper in the Ascension ceremony, in which basically they are no longer considered initiates and members of the general public. They are now officiated members of the church, and that comes with certain privileges. Basically, anybody in game terms, anybody who is a level 1 cleric of Palor has been through this ceremony. Like, the moment you go through the ceremony, you're a level 1 cleric of Palor, basically.
Okay.
So it's basically a big party to celebrate them joining the church, and then a very serious religious ceremony for several hours.
And everyone joins in on this?
Generally everybody is expected to, because the clerics of Palor are very important to the community, and generally pretty much every human who labours under the sun worships Palor. There are very few humans who don't.
Yeah, that's most of them.
Which explains why the place is absolutely desolate.
Because everyone's in the ceremony.
Everybody's in church.
Well done.
Why are you not at the ceremony?
Because he's not human.
Oh, right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just try and get like some information
Yeah.
about like local events and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
He continues to cut and shave. Staying for the game this afternoon?
Well,
I hear it's going to
what
be a
game-
good one.
What game are you referring to?
The ball game, of course.
Is this a thing I've heard of?
Well, you know of ball sports. You assume he is referring to what in this universe is called football, but you would find it closer to rugby than football.
Okay.
Is it basically like medieval football?
Yeah, it's
Just
basically
punch people?
basically medieval football where like it's full contact rugby football style sport, but it's played between very long distances. So they'll presumably go out into the fields and play it over 2 or 3 fields.
And you're perfectly allowed to just punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
To get the ball off them. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Generally, it's not a sport that gnomes and dwarves and halflings tend to get involved in for obvious reasons.
Let's just
Okay.
say there's a reason Henry Tudor banned it.
Well, I guess I might check it out later.
See, the problem with the Gators is they always try and walk it in.
I just do the thing where you pretend you
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're like,
Like,
uh-huh.
sure.
The rest of your conversation with the hairdresser continues on like this, whilst he talks about the football and you just pretend to understand what's going on.
Like, of course, I know everything about the footballs.
Yes.
Me
Balls
with
and
sports.
seeds.
I
When
made
do you
I
score a touchdown?
I made a goal once.
Oh, you actually play?
No, I wasn't being you.
Oh, I made a goal. I did a goal.
I did.
I picked up a ball and put it in the thing.
I did a touchdown. What?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It's funny because if Kelariis had hair and was having this conversation, Kelariis would be able to relate because Dragonborn play basketball.
Of
What?
course they do.
Wow.
That
Yes.
sounds fucking awesome.
Because they're so tall.
Because they're so tall. The World Championship is like the
Well-
Dragonborn versus the half.
The hoop is just higher up.
It's considered to be a strategic. Actually, it's more like netball than basketball because
Oh.
when you are in possession of the ball, you are no longer allowed to move. So it
Okay.
becomes a game of strategy.
Right, netball then.
Yes.
I'd still like to see like the international finals of the Second Age netball, which is half orcs versus Dragonborn.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, can we actually have a look around now?
yes, the rest of you have a look around. Generally, as you take a look around in these fairly empty streets, you notice pretty much everything that there is to notice. There's the center of town seems to be a very, very sort of touristy and visitor-centric place. There's a lot of bars and shops and things. Including what is essentially a very large and very fancy-looking outfitters, where you can the place is closed up, but you can see from the outside that they do all sorts of things from suits to formal wear to some very very fancy looking casual clothing, to even they do things like embroidered vestments and armor tabards. So basically any sort of high class working with material that you need, you could get done here. Other than that, there seems to be a general store that sells all sorts of adventuring supplies. Like I mentioned, several taverns. The church is fairly prominent that you can see, that seems to take up the majority of the square. But as you sort of wander around and look around, you start to get into more houses and industrial areas and manufacturing sections. You still find that the place is fairly quiet. As you get into sort of the industrial areas, you occasionally sort of like run into workers who are still sort of working, who don't seem to be going to the festivities. A few of which whom you actually recognise as half-elves. Particularly one place that you pass by, basically like four half-elves come out laughing and almost walk straight into Vondal and Kelariis, and sort of they almost bump into you and they're like, "Oh, sorry," and carry on with what they're doing. But as for the evidence of any sort of church or anything else, other than the large church in the centre of the square, you can seemingly find nothing.
Well,
How long is
it's
the ceremony
probably
gonna
nothing that asking around won't solve.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, of course, we'll have to wait for the service to finish for
Of
that.
course.
But
How long is that gonna take?
Well, they mentioned a couple of hours. It won't be done till evening.
Afternoon, not evening.
Afternoon. Okay. What time is it now, roughly?
Probably about lunchtime.
Okay, so yeah, a couple of hours.
Ah.
Yeah, maybe when times get back done, we can actually get a dress made for Arya this time.
Dresses.
Sorry, I just really wanted to say that. Flashback.
Throwback to episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We haven't watched that. We put Arya in a dress.
I know. And I looked a bomb.
Good.
We had to watch as Ferrous awkwardly tries to explain how she looks pretty but still looks like a warrior, and we basically figured out why Ferrous doesn't have a girlfriend. Sorry, I'm terrible for that.
Wow.
Look,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Shall we continue?
Yeah. Let's do something.
before Rob kills you.
So, you return to the square just as Grim is finishing having his haircut and shave. He is now no less blonde, but his hair is back to how it used to be. Excuse me.
What the fuck was that?
That was me trying to conceal a sneeze.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
I
Really
thought it was some
worked.
weird laugh.
I thought
Yeah.
I was about to
I thought it was
burst
like
out
some
in laughter.
squeaky toy.
Squeaky.
Right. Yeah, Grim is finishing his haircut.
So, what do we do while we wait for the service to end?
well, and
Maybe
we've
you could-
walked in most of the places.
Maybe
Well-
you could try talking to Tritherion, or like think of him, whatever you do.
Think of him fondly.
The sentence I think has been said so far.
Just think of him fondly now. Yeah, I mean that's worth a
I don't
try.
know, maybe we should
actually.
check.
Him in
Sure.
your thoughts.
I don't know. Maybe we should check the other inns.
If he doesn't know how praying works.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
it might have just been that. It might like one of the other inns might have someone in them.
From your evaluation of walking around town, none of the other inns seem to be open.
Yeah, that's kind of to be expected.
All right. Well,
I think trying to message Tritherion is a good idea.
Possibly.
send a message. Just send a
Leave it in
message
his
to
inbox.
Cytherean. Hey man, what's up?
His inbox.
Please help.
Subject line, please help.
You just get a reply that says, new phone, who dis?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll probably go and try to find, someplace to sit. Yeah. Just casually sit and...
Yeah.
Be like, hey.
Well, we could probably
Help.
wait in that first tavern we tried.
That's a fair point. Well, would it be weird to come back and just have people sitting in your tavern?
Well, we're not doing anything except sitting.
Yeah.
True. That's true. Sure, why not?
You could try and figure out if there's any place to sell some of the loot.
There would be if they were open.
Yeah. Because I don't think the stuff we have, I don't think would be bought by a pieman, a barber, and a guy who sells simple weapons and shady knickknacks.
You never know.
And shields, don't forget about shields.
And shields.
And shields,
Sorry, I
that's a-
almost forgot the most important thing. I'm so sorry.
So what do you
I
do?
guess back to the tavern to sit
Back to the
for a
tavern.
bit? Yeah.
Sure, you make your way back to the North Road Tavern.
Alright.
Still as empty as it ever was.
Well, I don't know what the others are gonna do, but I will have a sat, and I will...
A sat. You will have a sat.
Look
We
here.
have a single sat.
You will do
I
one
will
of the
sit
tests that
down.
you do at the end of primary school.
Standardized academic
You cannot-
testing.
Yeah.
You can have no more than one sat at a time.
Look here now.
So.
You will be graded from 1 to 5.
What the
Anyway.
five?
Anyway,
Okay.
you sit down.
I will sit down, and I will pray, and be... How would I...
What
I
do you,
guess kind of just...
what do you ask?
help. Please? No.
Help.
Basically, help. Helpless.
Hopeless.
You guide us towards this temple.
Yeah, just basically, hey, I'm here, and I know that you helped me find those books in the library, or at least I'm pretty sure you did. And Rourke's Gate was important in that one tale, and there was that temple, but I don't know where it is. And granted, we haven't talked to many people yet, because most of the people are in a service to Paylor, or, well, in a service for, yeah, point taken, but helpless.
Okay.
Praying is hard.
Okay. As you're praying, you sit briefly in a moment of silence after you finish it, and you receive a response, although perhaps it is not the response that you expected. And I will whisper to you what the response is.
Yes.
Find it yourself, asshole.
Like, okay.
What am I supposed to do?
I mean, that's a fair point.
I don't know, maybe what we're not expecting is for him to give us precise instructions on how to get there.
Exact coordinates.
Yeah.
This is the longitude and latitude you need.
We're gonna have to
If you
miss.
take precisely this many steps out the front door,
No,
out
no,
the front gate,
it's
then
gonna.
turn this way, take this many steps,
We're gonna
turn
be
precisely
told,
this angle this way.
we're gonna be told we have to Mission Impossible into the church.
Look,
Oh,
I'm just,
bum,
I
bum.
feel like with all of the stuff that Ferrous has mentioned, there's like fancy clothes, there's like lockpicks and stuff. I have the feeling we're gonna have to stealth through somewhere.
Are we gonna have to do a gala stealth event? Because those are my favorite.
Oh god, why? Oh.
Rob,
I'm almost gonna put money that either the church of that's now for Paylor used to be the Tritherian one, or it's somehow
Underneath
Yeah, I was thinking underneath, but
Where are our horses right now, by the way?
You
I'm
know,
just
it's,
who
uh,
knows? I assume,
This is why I was against buying
We
horses.
probably left them in a stable.
I assume they're either tied up.
Yeah, like
outside,
you
cabin.
usually there tends to be a place to secure your horse at the entrance
Yeah.
to town, so that's presumably where you left them.
Presumably.
No, we're just sitting on.
Yeah, we literally.
He's just like in the tavern, like shit. We forgot to get off the horse. How did I get this horse into the barber's chair? Grim's just sitting on this bald horse.
Oh no.
Oh, John touched me like, Kelariis, can I ride with you while Grim gets his hair cut?
Just pick you up off the back of that one, put you on the back of my horse.
Scruff. Put him on your horse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Could probably pick up the 200-pound weight with no problem.
Yep. She's Buff Dragon Mom. She can do
Exactly, that's my point. Oh god, my throat's starting to hurt from laughing so much now.
Yeah, I think once Kelariis receives this message and decides what to do about it, we will take another short break because I'm not going to lie, doing all of those accents has kind of killed my voice too.
it.
Wow, okay.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing some quality accents, man.
Yeah.
You've no longer got soap.
Oh, okay. I have an idea. I don't know if it's gonna be right.
See, thinking of Tallithsyr always works.
Yeah.
Think fondly of him.
Thinking of Torm never works. But Tritharion, he's the bro dad.
I always think fondly of Tritharion. It's fine.
Aww.
Come back, Jesus.
Okay.
The way I'm almost thinking about it is that Tritharion is like Vondal's dad and Torm is like Vondal's mom.
Wow.
Just one of them comes back with cool stories and is
Except
the
Tritharion is
absolute
still
bro.
alive.
Yeah. Wow,
Oh.
thanks.
Wow.
Thanks for the low blow there. Wow.
That's sad.
Okay, yeah. Guys, I think... I don't know if we should... I guess we still need to wait a bit for the service to finish, but... Seems like we'll have to be going to the Church of Pelor after all.
Well, we also have that letter to
Yeah.
pass.
Also that.
So,
It's quite convenient. We're gonna have to go there anyway.
Also, to Ferrous, a question to Ferrous. It
Mhm.
was... There was mention of somebody that's usually outside the temple, correct? Somewhere? That's,
The Paimon told you that if you go up by the temple to... What did he say exactly? He said, pay old Velt no mind. He's old and grumpy, but he means well.
Velt is his name. Because... Okay. We might have to go in. It might pay off to visit this vault that was mentioned. Is what I'm thinking.
Fair enough.
I
At least
mean,
we
if we're
can.
going to...
At least both the things we have to do are in the same place.
Yeah, seems like it.
So I guess we'll know it's all cleared out when the Tavern Keep gets back. We purchase rooms and go have a look.
Sounds good to me.
Lovely.
Okay. So, as we take a break, what is it that you are doing?
Waiting here for signs of the service to have ended.
Okay.
Yeah. Small
Right.
talk.
And
So,
then-
so you're just waiting here.
Yeah.
I
okay.
believe so, yeah, because we want to get rooms and not be carrying around like crap.
If there's anything else we can do.
Okay.
Unless we want to go outside the walls and spar.
I mean, hey,
Cool.
I'm always down for that, but
You decide
hi,
to
Kelariis.
rest up in the tavern. And with that, we'll take a short break.